Hello, and today is 2 full weeks since I had my hysterectomy to remove the fibroids along the fibroids, uterus, cervix, and both tubes have been removed. Also, there was a minor herniation on the umbilical cord, which also got repaired. Other than that, the rest, the ovaries have been preserved, and the entire surgery luckily has been done laparoscopically, which means that I have these 4 incisions. I've also had 2 side effects post-op. One is the subcutaneous emphysema, which is when the CO2 gas, which is used during the surgical process for the surgeon to see the organs better, it leaks under the skin, so subcutaneous tissue. So I have had lots of swelling, soreness, and the crackling sounds all over my abdomen, particularly on the left side, which is still there 2 weeks after. However, it kind of has migrated from the left side of the rib cage and the abdomen towards the lower abdomen. It migrated, and the part of it, of course, gets absorbed by the body. And the second side effect is I've been having hot flashes, which is a side effect sometimes when ovaries the oxygen supplies to the ovaries is cut off during the surgery. Side effect can be the hot flashes, even though I am not menopausal, at least not yet. And this also over a period of time subsides. I'm still having it, however, many less to what it used to be before. So these are the 2. When it comes to the recovery, it's important to know that everybody's body is different. Everybody has a different medical profile, medical history, experience within their bodies, different activity and the fitness levels prior to the surgery. And also recovery by and large depends also the kind of incision and what all has been done during the surgery. My surgery happened laparoscopically, which means that I have these 4 incisions. And if you have had a vaginal hysterectomy, that is somewhat different to laparoscopic, but somewhere within the vicinity. However, if you had the open cut or abdominal incision, the hysterectomy, in that case, the healing process is similar to the healing process post-cesarean, which I also have undergone 15 years ago. And probably everything will be later delayed by maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks at the same time. So as I said, I'm going to share my own experience. I am a physiotherapist. I've been always athletic. I have recovered from different things in my body over the course of time. And I'm really in tune with the body. So these 2 weeks have been really phenomenal. Yes, there has been a pain which has been managed in the beginning. Some amount of discomfort and pain still comes and goes. Last 2 days, I had been really tired. Like first 12 days, 3 days the hospital. It was just kind of getting through it. I started mobilizing, walking, everything already first day post-op, but it was like a few minutes, and just like a little bit of a stretching and just moving the legs, making sure that not to cross the legs because you do not want to have the blood clotting to form, blood clots to form. Activity has been steadily increasing after I came back home, and by and large I have been pain-free. And again, Pain-free, which means that here and there I did need for at least a week. I have been taking anti-inflammatory. I have been taking some pain management. But that pain management was more on the SOS basis rather than as an ongoing thing. After first 5 days, it was just on the SOS. And now for a few days, last already a week, I have been taking pain management only if I know I will be straining the body a little bit more. I started venturing out for maybe half an hour, maybe after a week. And I have noticed that I get tired very easily. Um, so what is important is to balance out your activity, returning back to life, to work, and your sense of normality, and not to hinder the healing process, because restrictions are very strict in terms of bending forward, in terms of picking up anything heavier. Usually they say 10 weeks to 10 pounds, but I feel it's more of that is a little bit less, because I had no prolapse and this was a quite clear surgery. So, but still for first 3 weeks, absolutely not picking up anything, because everything inside the superficial healing has taken place in these 2 weeks. However, deep internal healing is still happening, and one does not want to have bleeding, or that the area doesn't heal properly, because that can have a later on consequences. I started doing Kegel exercises early on, started activating pelvic floor. I'm doing a lot of mobility movements, hip raises, mainly lying down on the treatment table, so I'm not going to the ground, and just generally being active. I'm climbing steps maybe a few times a day, because I live on the third floor, so have to go up. So, and again, that has been progressively. In the beginning, when I came back home from the hospital, I didn't step out of the room for 2 days. After that, it was once a day. Now I do approximately 2 times. Um, Yesterday, I have taken my daughter out, and we were out for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. But by the time I came back home, and even though it was just a car ride, and at the venue I was walking a little bit and was clicking some pictures. However, when I came back, I was really tired. So, and before that few days, I have spent many more hours outside, because it was somebody's prayer meeting, and I spent time sitting, and I was more comfortable, and I have not gotten so exhausted. So it's kind of interesting to observe the body, that let's say the 12 days I've been super active and I've done a lot, and my body was okay and I was fine and I was not in discomfort or pain. However, then 2 days, day 12 and 13, so day before yesterday and yesterday, I have been really tired. So I have just listened the body, withdraw, retreat, took a lot of rest, have done some online work which didn't require me to work, spent very little time sitting. It was mainly leaning back and resting, and the activity was just minimal. So I feel it is very important to say this, that this balance has to be maintained, and to you keep finding the balance each day as it comes. So maybe last 2 days the body was telling me, hey, you need to back off, you have done a lot prior to it, or maybe that would have happened anyway. So I do not necessarily question, oh, why is this? Does this mean a setback? Does it mean? None of that is true. If you're attuned with the body, and again, I'm a physiotherapist, I've been most of the time really active. I have a very strong background in Pilates. I teach pole as well. So I am really in tune with my body, and I do understand the way body moves as well. So, in my personal opinion, when it comes to me and my body, I don't feel I have overdone anything. Having said that, when the body tells me, hey, you need more rest, you need to kind of slow things down, I absolutely listen to that as well. So, this is just to kind of give you, and then yesterday, it was, oh gosh, I started choking, and I think it was a piece of a cornflake, and it went wrong way, and it was not soggy, so it was sharp and it was small, tiny piece, and I have coughed and coughed and coughed. Anurag had to come and kind of hit me on the back, and he was almost like, should I do Hana? I said, no, don't put any pressure on that area. It was really, really, really bad. And that whole episode, and then I was sneezing prior to that. So sneezing, I managed to kind of brace my core, kind of get myself in a ball shape. And I will do another pose, what to do when you need to cough or sneeze. But I had this episode of sneezing little bit later. Then I had this choking episode, and it was really intense. After my throat settled, and then I was hoarse for a little while, but after that settled, that is when I had throbbing in my stomach. I felt deep discomfort, and I was like, oh my god, please don't tell me that something got ripped, something kind of split open, something. I mean, it was really, really scary. And I mean, it was scary choking, but then after I got out of that, it was scary. You know, oh my God, has something happened? Did something rupture? Did something open? And I have chosen not to take any pain management because I actually wanted to be aware if the sensitivity increases and as I said, the day before that, I was very disciplined, spent time in bed yesterday, was very disciplined apart from taking a daughter out. I stayed less active, less climbing, and maybe my body was more rested, maybe I'm getting fitter, right? And we are, after all, 2 weeks into recovery. But after a half an hour, 45 minutes, that pain subsided. And today, this morning, when I woke up, I have a faint, somewhere, a kind of awareness of that area. However, there was no discharge, there was no bleeding, there was no, so I'm really, really grateful. But that was a really scary, and I hate to think what would have happened if this happened like 5 days after post-op. So far so good. Listen to your body, do what it feels right, as little as it feels okay, and then expand. And when the body tells you, hey, tired, I need, then kind of bring it back in. Also, tiredness post-surgery is not only because of the trauma and the pain, but it's also because of anesthesia. Anesthesia for some people carries on longer, even for a few weeks. What can be also sleepiness, tiredness, and the brain fog. I do feel a little that I get tired a little bit quicker, even though now it's much better to what it was. So it's just something to keep in mind. So this is my update for week 2. And let's see what's gonna happen. I am recording the journey of the exercises that I'm doing, techniques that I'm applying, because I feel it is important. We all go through the journey differently. However, there are some similarities with everybody. And of course, you're first going to follow your doctor's guidance. Everybody is different. And at the same time, follow your own gut feel or inner guidance, your awareness. And if you have never paid attention, this is a good time to start, to kind of increase the awareness about your body, increase awareness, how do you feel, kind of just get more in tune with your inner self, because that guidance can really carry you far and be of great help and use along not only this journey but every other journey you're taking. So on that note, love and light to all.